What's up, guys? This is Scoopman5000, and today we're back for a very big review. This is AEW Unrivaled Series 1 Cody. And what a journey it is getting to this figure finally. I spent a whole day going to Walmart looking for these figures. And you know what? You gotta call it quits sometimes, and you gotta pay the scalper fee. And, you know, you gotta sit. Who do I really want in this set? And that would be Cody for me. Cody's always been one of my absolute favorites ever since I started watching. So glad about the success that he's getting now. And he's in Wave 1 of AEW. And since this is from Double or Nothing, doesn't have that god-awful neck tattoo. But yeah, I had to visit eBay and make a little purchase ski for Cody. Wanted to get a review out and wanted to have one of these other figures in my hand. So far only got Bubbly Jericho and I got the ring. You can see videos about both of them on the channel here. And now what's going to hold me over until the rest of these figures show up eventually is going to be Cody. Beautiful box here on the AEW figure. Got some great gold details, AEW logo, Unrivaled collection on the bottom, and then a nice big render of Cody in the front. You get a window inside the package, you see everything you're getting, which is just Cody and the sledgehammer. On the side, you got the AEW logo. Same thing here, and you also get a little headshot of Cody. And then on the back, you got an image of his match at Double or Nothing with Dustin, one of the best matches of all time. And then you got everyone else in the set. You got Cody, Jericho, Brandy, Matt and Nick, the Young Bucks, and then Kenny Omega. And then here's the barcode for any hunters out there. And you get a clear top to let some light in through to the figure. But I've waited long enough to get this guy, so let's get to it and crack open Cody. And if you're thinking about putting these figures back in the box, be warned, it does not seem like an option. And here is Cody out of the packaging. And I love Mattel, but it's so great to have another fresh face in this collecting hobby for wrestling figures. And of course we got Super 7, and we got Boss Fight, and we got all sorts of other companies throwing their hats in the ring. And Jazwares leading the charge with these AEW figures. And I was very impressed with a little bit of the Bubbly Jericho. And this Cody kind of has the same issues as that figure, and we'll get into that. But first impression, I couldn't be any happier to have this figure. For the accessories, you're getting this sledgehammer, and this was used to kind of bash the proverbial throne at Double or Nothing, kind of a shot at Triple H NXT. And it's a pretty decent sledgehammer. I actually should have brought up a Mattel one to compare it to. This one seems a little bit cheaper, and this is kind of light colored here. But it's a sledgehammer. Cody's not really a guy to use a sledgehammer, but I think it's iconic enough that it's cool that he came with this, and it's cool to be getting accessories like this right off the bat in this line. And then you could also consider the weight belt an accessory on Cody. Detail on the back there, attitude killer, and then that Nightmare Family logo that he tattooed on his neck. Be a really nice weight belt. I actually kind of had some trouble getting it back on him though, because this is like a mushroom peg here, and it's just kind of hard to wrap around it. But that's your decked out Cody. This does also have a Chase variant figure. I think that's from the next pay-per-view he competed on, and that's with like the Star Trek shirt. But that's like a 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 500 Chase figure. I'll probably never see that in my life, and if I do, it'll be $500. But I'm perfectly fine having this Cody, finally a modern, updated Cody. Obviously, since his departure from WWE, hasn't had any figures, and even while he was there, a lot of them were Stardust. So there hasn't really been a good Cody on the market in about 5 years. But we'll go ahead and we'll get a closer look at the figure. I want to start off at the head here, and you know, if I go back here, I see him kind of glowing under my lights here, and that's kind of the big issue with these AEW figures so far, and I do think they're going to be correcting that. But it's this kind of pasty, glowy skin tone on these figures, a shinier plastic. Now I know Jazwares, they make Fortnite, and they make a lot of other lines like that. They're kind of new to the realistic figure game. So I could kind of see why an issue like this would happen. But that being said, it's not bad. It's just if you go ahead and you pull in a Mattel figure, you see it's just a bit more solid, a bit more lifelike, I guess. You know, it doesn't look like he's made of glowy plastic. But that's probably the only gripe I'm going to have to say about this Cody, because it's a great figure, you know, architecturally and then details as well. Very good on Cody. But yeah, back on the head sculpt here, you see it's the blonde-haired Cody that he's been rocking for a few years. And we got a pretty decent face sculpt. I don't think it's quite up to par with the Jericho or with Mattel's head sculpts, but it's pretty good. You can see the profile there. I do think his Mattel's were always pretty decent, so this one would probably rank around the middle, but obviously the printing is the best it's ever going to be, and then the blonde hair also is a big highlight. And then down at the torso, we got his dream tattoo across the chest. That's done pretty well, and I actually do think that this looks pretty good against the skin tone. It's not just a flat black, you know, it looks a bit transparent like a tattoo should, so that's good. I don't know if that's as a result of the skin tone or if it's actually an intentional color they chose, but it actually does pay off. either way. And this body sculpt is a little bit leaner than Jericho's. I haven't seen the other figures in that much detail, so I don't know if they're reusing bodies at all, or if every figure is going to have a unique one. I'd imagine this will be reused though, maybe for a guy like Moxley or Hangman Page. That next wave, I'm sure we'll be seeing this body again. And I'm noticing the head rock when I tap the figure here. And then the arms are pretty basic as well, thinner than Jericho's. Then we got the wrist tape painted on around the wrist, and then some painted on wrist tape on the hand as well. Got some great design on the tights, kind of blocked by the weight belt a bit, but you can see that kind of ornate design going around the top of the waist. And then back here, it's a white square there. That looks kind of weird, but it's probably accurate. And then it V-shapes down at the crotch here. We got the dual tone blue and gold. We got a strap going around, painted on here. Nightmare logo on the leg. Same logo on the knee pad here. And then a plain, or I shouldn't say plain, there's plenty of detail, but missing the logo on this knee. That follows down into the lower leg. And then we get to the boots. And I always like these style of boots, the white ones with the straps on them. The straps and the stripes are done in blue. And then we got a nice classic wrestling boot here with the CR. Kind of some traditional wrestling boots. You know, some old school design work going on here. And then nothing much down at the soles. And then to go over articulation for Cody, that's where these AEW figures are really shining in my opinion. We go up to the head, it's on that ball joint. It seems a bit weird and a bit kind of bobbly, but it does move around. It's on a hinge and a ball. So you get plenty of movement. You can bury his chin that much and look back pretty well. And again, this is much better than any Mattel figure. The torso is on a ball joint, so you're getting plenty of tilt and motion. So you're getting plenty of motion, plenty of tilt. Plastic feels kind of a bit low quality, a bit soft around here, but it does make for some good movement. And then you also do get a ball at the bottom of the torso into the waist, which is really awesome. So all that combined, you're getting so much range of movement, so much possibility for making wrestling poses. And altogether, he goes forward that much, and he goes way back. At the shoulder, you got a swivel, and you got a clicky hinge. You do have the bicep cut. You got the double jointed elbow, which kicks all kinds of ass. And then you got the swivel at the wrist, and the hinge as well. Almost a full split for the ball joints at the waist. And you can see, he's got those skin-colored pegs, which are kind of shitty. And I hope they do correct that. He does have an upper thigh cut, great double jointed knee, cut at the boot, and then some excellent ankle rocker. Goes back that much, and forward that much. And now we'll go ahead and do my favorite part. We'll do some comparisons. We'll start out with the Mattel basic Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. We'll go ahead and bring in some elite figures to compare Cody to, and you can see the skin tone here really is the big difference. Just reviewed the edge heads, and you'll see that video this week. So here's the classic Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And then here's a modern day Cardona and Myers decked out in their major gear. And then finally, here is WrestleMania 28 Elite Cody Rhodes, one of my favorite looks for Cody. And then my only other AEW figure so far, a little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho. And that's going to do it for your look at AEW Series 1 Cody Rhodes. And how could you not be excited for this brand new wrestling figure line, high quality figures. And we got updated looks for guys like Cody, Jericho, Jon Moxley coming up, Dustin Rhodes. And then we have the first ever figures for guys like Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, MJF, and the list goes on. And that being said, because of the whole fiasco with Walmart being a garbage company and not really properly stocking these figures, at least where I live, I did go ahead and I have that back order in for the Series 1, but I won't get those for a long time. But I did make sure Series 2 was pre-ordered, so I will get those when they release. And you already know you're going to be seeing reviews for those. I'm actually way more excited about Wave 2 than I am for Wave 1's lineup. I think that it's so cool. I love Dustin, also one of my favorite wrestlers. It's great to get him. Great to get Jon Moxley, MJF, Hangman Page, and then the Lucha Bros. I think that's even a better wave than this one. I think this was the expected wave, the wave you had to start with for AEW. But I think Wave 2 really shows the potential that this line has and the staying power that it has. But I'm pumped. I'm so excited to have this figure in the collection. Had to pay a bit of a premium, but I think it was worth it. And I'm willing to wait for the rest of those figures. I have Jericho, I have Cody. Those are probably my two most wanted from the first set. And yeah, I keep gushing over this Cody, but I'm so glad to have him. Let me know what you guys think of the figure, if you found any AEW figures so far. And if not, are you going to be looking for them? Did you order Wave 2? What else you been hunting? Anything like that. As always, I'm going to leave it off with some pictures I took of the figure. And I'll be seeing you guys here on the Scoopman 5000 YouTube channel for the next action figure reviews.